Coming up on Mountain News at 6.
A small-town fire station in Lawrence County caught fire early this morning. I'm Whitney Burks with the details coming up.
A Southern Kentucky Catholic school that closed earlier this year may soon have a new owner.
Businesses, community organizations, and neighbors are grabbing their walking shoes. I'm Erica Glover in Pike County with more from the Light the Night Awareness Walk.
You're watching Eastern and Southern Kentucky's #1 source for news. WYMT Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Some firefighters in Lawrence County had to fight a very personal fire this morning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Hensley. Morgan is on assignment. We are streaming live on our WYMT News app. The Blaine Volunteer Fire Department caught fire around 6 o'clock, seriously damaging most of their equipment. WYMT's Whitney Burks has reaction from folks in the community.
Thursday morning, fighting fires hit home for Blaine Volunteer Fire Department in Lawrence County. Around 6:15, the fire chief discovered the station was burning while he was checking on a report of a water leak.
I couldn't believe it. It looks awful.
Raymond Osborne was part of the department for more than 2 decades. He says seeing it crippled by fire is something he never imagined.
I worked hard to help build this up. And now it's all gone.
The folks here at Ferguson's Market in Blaine say for this town, this is big news, and they say their customers have been coming in all day asking questions, wondering what's happened and what will happen in the future.
Big news. Nothing ever happens here, hardly.
If it shuts down, I guess we'll be in trouble. Won't have anything to put a fire out with.
Officials say 2 pump trucks and a tanker truck were badly damaged. Almost everything in the building was destroyed. They had 1 truck that was not there, which they brought in to fight their own fire, along with members of several surrounding fire departments.
It's kind of ironic. I don't know what to think about it. It's kind of surprising.
Now they're just hoping they can somehow rebuild. In Lawrence County, Whitney Burks, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say for now, Webbville and Redbush fire departments will take over for that area. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause of the fire. The dry streak of weather came to an end this afternoon as a line of strong to even severe storms pushed through. We still have 1 active warning for just a few more minutes. Meteorologist Shane Smith has been tracking the storms all afternoon, and he has the latest. Shane.
Yeah, Steve, we still got that severe thunderstorm warning for Whitley and McCreary counties. That's going to go about another 15 minutes up until 6:15. Let's get on over to live pinpoint Doppler radar, where we are watching the majority of the storms exiting southern and eastern Kentucky, but there's still a few of them holding on, and that one down into McCreary County especially looking a little bit on the strong side. Once again, that thunderstorm warning goes until 6:15. We can zoom on in on that storm, and you can see the heaviest of the action is south of Stearns and Williamsburg. It is pushing off to the east-southeast. Also a decent little storm getting ready to roll over Monticello. Not severe, but definitely on the stronger side. We can slide on to the east, and there's some strong thunderstorms south of Harlan, Cumberland, Whitesburg seeing a pretty good storm right now. Jenkins, some heavy rain heading your way, but the good news is up in Pikeville, we are drying out where the Light the Night event is getting ready to start right now. Forecast for the remainder of the evening calling for those temperatures to go from the 60s down, or from the 80s down into the 60s overnight as that cold front moves on through. Steve, you can see the rain is moving out and drier weather is heading our way. We'll have a look at a cool and dry weekend forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Shane, thanks. Police arrested a student they say was involved with yesterday's bomb threat at Corbin High School. Police say the student wrote a threat on a bathroom wall. There was no evidence of hazardous materials in the building and no evidence to support the threat was going to be carried out. Officials tell us the student is under 18 and the case is being heard in juvenile court. The student faces a terroristic threatening charge which carries a 1 to 5 year prison term. Students were back in the classrooms today. A mother and her boyfriend are in jail accused of beating her baby so bad the child's brain was bleeding. State police say 20-year-old Melinda Spears took her 9-month-old daughter to Baptist Health Hospital in Corbin last Thursday. Police say the baby had severe head injuries caused by abuse. Troopers charged her boyfriend, 19-year-old Bradley Powers, with criminal abuse and charged Spears with endangering the welfare of a minor.
We began an investigation. We started interviewing the mother and the boyfriend that was responsible for this child. And from there, we can't go into much details except that both the mother and the boyfriend was arrested.
The baby went to UK Hospital in Lexington, but is now in the custody of social services. Perry County Circuit Judge Bill Engel rejected a plea deal today in an attempted murder, robbery, and assault case. Earlier this month, Lily Nicole Hurd agreed to a 25-year sentence for those charges, but she could have been eligible for parole in less than 10 years. In September of last year, police say Hurt entered the Grapevine BP gas station, tried to take money, and stabbed 2 people. Engel scheduled a hearing for September 26 to set a new trial date. We have an update on a deadly head-on crash. It happened last night on US 25 at the junction of Ferriston Road in Laurel County. Police say one of the drivers, 47-year-old Nora Penix of London, died. All 4 people in the other vehicle were injured. 3 of them, including a 2-year-old, were all flown to UK Hospital with serious injuries. 5 people are facing drug charges in Knox County. They were arrested this morning during a roundup by Barberville police. The charges come after months of investigations. You can see a list of those arrested on our website. Police say more arrests are expected. The Corbin Board of Education approved an agreement on Tuesday that is the first step towards buying property that will eventually be part of the district. WYMT's Laura Baronic has more on the unique agreement and how the school district plans on keeping the history of the now closed St. Camillus Academy intact.
St. Camillus Academy has become a landmark in Corbin, but it is now in the process of changing owners.
It's our intent that this will become our site for our Corbin Middle School.
St. Camillus closed its doors for good earlier this year because of low enrollment. But because of the relationship between them and the Corbin School District, officials say the move benefits both of them.
Because without the sisters' assistance, this would not be happening.
If we had passed this up, we would never get an opportunity to get this much property inside our school district city limits that already had usable buildings and infrastructure for sports and other activities.
This ground has belonged to St. Camillus for nearly 100 years, and school officials say even though the purchase may be a bit expensive, they feel like it's worth it.
It is a strain, but it is one that we are willing to do. And I think that you will find that the citizens of Corbin have always supported this school system above and beyond what anyone could imagine in a town this size.
The purchase is still in the beginning stages, and officials predict the complete transition will take around 2 years. In Whitley County, Laura Baronic, WYMT Mountain News.
The academy sits on 26 acres of land and will cost the school district $1 million. That will be paid over 5 years, interest-free. The role of higher education in creating a strong workforce was discussed in Prestonsburg today. Lieutenant Governor Jerry Abramson was part of a panel along with former Secretary of Education Laura Owens, Senator Ray Jones, and the president of Big Sandy Community and Technical College, George Edwards.
Bottom line is, if Kentucky is going to be successful, if we're going to get businesses that are here to expand, if we're going to attract business from other states and other countries in this world to come into Kentucky, we have got to assure that we've got a productive, educated, and skilled workforce.
Officials at the event all agree that community colleges play a big role in eastern Kentucky having a stable workforce. A nearby hospital in Virginia is shutting down. Lee Regional Medical Center in Pennington Gap, Virginia will close on October 1st. The hospital employs about 140 people, including some who drive from eastern Kentucky. Officials with Wellmont Health System blame the closing on 3 issues: reimbursement cuts associated with the Affordable Care Act, a lack of Medicaid expansion in Virginia, and a lack of consistent physician coverage. An event underway in Pikeville is designed to raise awareness and money for blood cancers. This is a live look from our U-Pike weather cam at the 2nd annual Pikeville Light the Night Walk in the city park. Now, a severe storm moved through the area in the last hour, but the show must go on. We have a team participating tonight, and WYFT's Erica Glover joins us live with more on what's happening. Erica, she's on the ground. You can't see her, but she's down there. Erica?
Steve, organizers for the Light the Night Awareness Walk are passing out red, gold, and white balloons in honor and in memory of blood cancer patients. This is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's second Light the Night awareness walk, attracting supporters from across eastern Kentucky.
The public has just really taken a hold of this and claimed it as their own because they know that the funds we raise here stay here. And not many organizations can say that.
Event coordinators like Scrappy Barnes have a personal connection. He lost his daughter to Hodgkin's lymphoma.
She was 22 years old when she passed. So that's why I keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and pushing and pushing.
He wants everyone to leave having more knowledge of blood cancer.
Not just tomorrow, but a month from now or a year from now, when they come back for the next walk, is that we've raised some awareness on what they can do to find a cure and help us find a cure.
Organizers say if they can save one life by raising awareness, that is all that matters. Last year, this event raised close to $15,000, and they hope to double that number at this event. All right, Steve?
All right, Erica, thank you very much. And again, we have a group participating in tonight's Light the Night Walk, and we need your help raising money. We have a link to our team page on WYMT.com. Just look for this story. Coming up on Mountain News at 6, could two southeastern Kentucky cities be merging into one? And he is moving on. Jimmy Rose gives us his reaction to making the Final Six in the America's Got Talent competition. Bell County's own Jimmy Rose is staying in the national spotlight. He got enough votes to move on to the top 6 and the final week of NBC's America's Got Talent. WYMT's Angela Sparkman talked to Rose on the phone this afternoon.
Jimmy Rose told us on the phone he still cannot believe he heard his name called on Wednesday's America's Got Talent show.
You know, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now.
Rose says when he auditioned for the show, he never dreamed he would make it to the top 6.
If you come together, it just goes to show you can do anything, and last night showed that. So, you know, I'm so blessed and amazing.
Although he is now in New York City, miles away from his hometown of Pineville, he says he cannot forget all of the people back home who have helped him along this journey.
And I want to personally thank everyone for voting for me and just supporting me and standing behind me. I want to thank the town and the county and the state for supporting me and getting behind a local hometown boy, you know.
He says he hopes to make the region proud of him again as he sings on the national stage one more time.
Not only does it make me excited, but to know what's going on back home and everybody else enjoying it with me, because, you know, you guys are really right with me. It ain't just myself, so.
Rose says they do not rest on America's Got Talent. He says they are already preparing for his next performance. In Bell County, Angela Sparkman, WYMT Mountain News.
And the finals are this Tuesday night, and I'm sure Eastern Kentucky will be watching. A Floyd County doctor made a generous donation to a new program at Prestonsburg High School. Dr. Chandra Varia will give $25,000 during the next 5 years to the Allied Health Program. The program allows students to learn about careers in the medical field. The donation will provide the program with necessary materials.
Students that take this course can take 3 classes and pass a state test and be certified. And by getting that certification, they will not have to take 2 classes at Big Sandy.
More than 100 students enrolled in the program. In Harlan County, 2 cities may become one to save money. Lynch Mayor Johnny Adams said the cities of Lynch and Benham should consider coming together. He made the comments on Tuesday during a city council meeting. Adams said the only alternative would be charging Lynch residents $14 more per month for water, sewer, and garbage pickup. One council member suggested placing a $10 per month fee for 1 year and then removing it. The discussion was tabled until the next meeting. And we want to remind you about our brand new WYMT News app for iPhone and iPad users. We believe the changes will help checking news, weather, and sports on your phone or tablet a better experience. It's also important that you delete the old app after you download the new one, because the old one will not be supported much longer. Later in sports, it's an old high school football county rivalry in Bell County Friday night. We'll hear from Bell County head coach Wayne Mills on the importance of the game with Middlesboro.
And as we head on into the weekend, we've got a few more thunderstorms to deal with, but after that, some much cooler temperatures. Full forecast coming up after this.
And And now, Sky Alert weather featuring Pinpoint Doppler, Eastern and Southern Kentucky's most dependable forecast. Sponsored by Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Shane, some pretty strong storms moved through this afternoon, but the good news is much nicer weather, cooler weather, fall-like weather on the way.
Absolutely, Steve. And all the active warnings in our neck of the woods has now moved on out. There's still one down in Campbell County, Tennessee. That's down near Jellicoe. But besides that, we're beginning to dry on out. Still a little bit of water showing up on the camera lens of our U-Pike Skycam overlooking downtown Pikeville, Kentucky, but the rain has stopped, which is good news for the folks out there at the Light the Night event we told you about a little bit earlier. And for most of us, we're going to be drying up over the next couple hours. Pinpoint Doppler showing the rain moving on out. There's still a little lingering shower action right along the Kentucky-Virginia border and also on the Kentucky-Tennessee border down there around Jellicoe, Tennessee, where that severe thunderstorm warning is continuing, although that storm not looking nearly as impressive as it did, but there's just still one little area right there southeast of Williamsburg where there's potentially a little bit of hail or some gusty wind showing up, where you see that purple right there on the border. And we slide on off south of Harlan. The showers moving out. Still some decent rain coming down into Whitesburg and Jenkins. And then as we head on up into Pike County, just east of Pikeville, there is a pretty decent little cell, but it'll be across the river here in the next, say 20, 30 minutes. And most of the rain will be on out of the entire area within the next hour or so. Temperature-wise, it is cooling down. In fact, down to 71 in Jackson, 78. London, 83, Middlesboro. We were into the upper 80s before the storms rolled in, and now that cooler air mass is moving in and is really going to be bringing us that drier, more comfortable and cooler air. In fact, by 11 o'clock tonight, we're down to 66. Tomorrow morning, we're likely into the upper 50s, so it is going to be a radical change. All that muggy conditions we've been dealing with the last couple of days, they're done. We are going to see that air move on out. The dry air moves in behind it, and it's that collision of the air masses which is bringing us the showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. You can see that cooler air off onto the north on the regional temperature map, and that is just going to continue to push on into the Ohio Valley overnight as cool Canadian high pressure is setting up off to the north and the west. That's what's bringing the clearing over the upper Midwest, and that's what's going to bring us the nice weather as we head on in to the end of the work week. Tomorrow night's football games looking nice and dry. Temperatures will be down into the 60s though, so you'll probably want to wear a long sleeve shirt and a jacket as you head out to those football games tomorrow night. Going to be the real first fall feel to those games, and that cool trend will continue on into the weekend. Let's take a little bit of a closer look with our high resolution in-house computer model. You can see maybe a storm or two or shower or two lingering tomorrow morning, but most of the rain will be on out. And then we see that dry weather moving in. In fact, let us take a look at the 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view, and that is a nice fall-looking weekend. In fact, we may not get to 70 in some locations on Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday, and then we'll warm it back up into the 80s by the middle of next week. But as the temperatures come up, the rain chances also do.
Looking good after we get through the next hour or two. We're in good shape.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a nice weekend.
Yeah. All right, Shane, thank you very much. Coming up next in sports, the Cincinnati Reds prepare for the stretch run of the regular season with only 15 games remaining. And Kentucky's defense stepped up against Miami. Head coach Mark Stoops says another big effort will be needed against Louisville.
WYMT Mountain Sports, sponsored by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
After giving up 487 total yards and 35 points against Western Kentucky, the Kentucky Wildcats rebounded quite nicely against Miami of Ohio. Against the Redhawks, the Cats allowed just 122 total yards, allowed just 7 points, and recorded 6 quarterback sacks, impressing the coaching staff after a lackluster performance against the Hilltoppers.
They played much better. They played much better, and I was proud of some things we saw Saturday that we didn't have much practice at, that just systematically we played right, and the guys were more disciplined, like we talked about going into the game.
The 7th-ranked Louisville Cardinals will look to make it 3 consecutive wins over the Wildcats when they visit Lexington Saturday afternoon. Kickoff at Commonwealth Stadium is set for 12 noon, and the game can be seen live on ESPN. Prior to Louisville's back-to-back wins, Kentucky won the previous 4. The all-time series, though, belongs to Kentucky with a 14-11 record against the Cardinals. Well, the intense county rivalry between the Bell County Bobcats and the Middlesboro Yellow Jackets kicks off tomorrow night at Bell County High School. The Bobcats are 2-1 on the season and are coming off a big win against Whitley County last week. Now, both the Yellow Jackets and the Bobcats have been preparing all week for the county rivalry, and Bell County coach Wayne Mills says even though it's a non-district game, it's important to the community.
Well, you know, we just take it as another game. It's a non-district game for us against a good opponent, and we really feel like it'll help us prepare as we move forward in district play. Millsboro's got a great football team. This team has been, young. They're finally a seasoned team, and we look for a very good, intense ball game, and just hope everybody comes out healthy, and it'll be a good slobber knocker.
15 games is all that remains in the regular season for the Cincinnati Reds, and the team currently sits in third place in the National League Central. Of the remaining games, only 6 are against the team with a winning record, and all 6 are against the Pittsburgh Pirates. But pitcher Mike Leake says all they can do is go out and compete and try to win every game.
Granted, we still got to win, but we feel pretty confident that we're going to at least have a chance to be in the playoffs. So, we feel confident that we're going to get a good chance, but now it's battle and try to not put the pressure on you for a one-game playoff. So we're not thinking about it, obviously, just because our job is to go out there and just compete every day and do what we can.
Now the Reds are off today. They will begin their final road trip of the regular season tomorrow when they begin a 3-game series in Milwaukee. Here's a look at the NL Central standings as they stand right now. The St. Louis Cardinals are in first place. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in second, 1 game behind the Cardinals, and the Reds are 3 games out in third. And Steve, that is sports.
Josh, thank you very much. We'll be right back. Some Harlan County elementary students put down the books and spent the day outdoors learning. The annual 4-H environmental camp is this week at Martins Fork Lake. Representatives from state and local agencies set up booths to teach the students about the land, water, air, animals, and other topics. 3rd and 4th graders spent the day at each spot.
Hopefully they were getting some things that they need to know. Maybe it will help them not only on the test, but will help them in the future to learn about how to, to preserve things in the environment and keep things working good for our environment.
Teachers say the hands-on learning helps students on tests in the future. All right, Shane, some nicer weather coming up.
Yeah, give us about another hour or so and we'll get that rain on out of here, and after that we have got dry conditions. A spotty shower possible tomorrow, especially in the Big Sandy Valley, but that's going to be mainly in the morning. I think we're dry in the afternoon and evening, and then a cool weekend. In fact, may not get to 70 on Saturday, and record lows are in jeopardy both days.
All right, Shane, thanks, and thank you for joining us for Mountain News at 6. The CBS Evening News is next. Good night, everyone.